Welcome to the Red, White, and Fast. Today we meet with a person who reflects a bright future for Trinidad and Tobago in the sport of track cycling, Makaira Wallace. Maki is 20 years old. She is from Diego Martin, not too far from where I am right now in Trinidad. She was a student in St. Joseph's Convent, Port of Spain, a place that my sister also attended, balancing 6 a.m. gym sessions, afternoon track training, and a full academic load every single week. Now, in August of 2024, in Luoyang, China, she walked into the Junior Track World Championships and made history. 2 silver medals in 2 days. Wow. Trinidad and Tobago's first ever medals at that level of competition. In a sport she had only been racing seriously for less than 2 years. What an accomplishment. Big fan here, Maki. Coach, whom you heard of from episode 1, Jasane Phillip, wrote these words about her. The world is watching. I truly believe him. And so does the nation of Trinidad and Tobago. Maki, it is a genuine honor to have you on the show. Welcome to the Red, White, and Fast.
Thank you so much. That was a nice introduction.
Thank you. I'm a big fan. I've shared with you before. My mom, who is 92, is also a big fan. You have a lot of fans all over Trinidad and Tobago and the rest of the world. So, Maki, for the next 20 minutes or so, some general questions, conversations about who you are. I know right now you're in Hong Kong getting ready for the World Cup, and I know it's been a long journey, and so I'm very grateful for the time that you're taking to meet and speak with me today, and for you to share your story a bit. So let's reflect a little bit here. Walk me into the velodrome of Luoyang on the first morning. You were about to race in the Junior World Championships. What are you actually feeling standing there, being on the bike, being on the line?
So that morning was a really special morning for me. It was my second year of juniors, and it really felt like it was a special moment because I knew that this was what I was working for the last 2 years, and it was finally my time, and I felt really confident going into my 200. Just my coach really instilled the self-belief in me, and I felt like I was really ready for it. I was ready to step on the line and do my 200, and I executed well and ended up qualifying second, which felt amazing. I was really, really proud of that accomplishment. And yeah, it was a really, really special moment. And then it ended up being one of the biggest lessons I've learned in my career this far, because after qualifying second, I ended up getting knocked out in the first round, because I just let the pressure kind of take over, because I wasn't really expecting to qualify second. So after that high of qualifying so well, I just let it take over and didn't really know what to do with the pressure in that moment. So yeah, going into the next few days of racing, I really had to put my head back on and reset to be able to win those 2 medals in the later days.
Awesome. Something that we share with in competition. Always your first rounds. Never take it for granted. Even when you go into the 16th person. In my career, I've seen the 16th person actually knock out the number one guy who was considerably faster just because of a little a little glitch in the process. So,
Yeah, it was definitely a ride I was supposed to win on paper. Like the person I raced was like over a second slower than me, so it was a really hard blow for me. And yeah, it was. I had a day to reset, so that was really good. Because the sprint competition is 2 days, so I was able to reset for the 500 and Karen.
beautiful. But actually, that leads me to the next question now. So you crossed the line and took silver in the 500-meter time trial. You've broken the Trinidad and Tobago's national record during that process as well. What was the first thought that went through your head at that moment? especially rebounding from a not too good sprint tournament.
Actually, I didn't when I crossed the line for the 500. Obviously, I knew I broke the national record, so that was a great feeling. But I didn't really know where I was going to place overall because in the qualifying, I qualified third. So when I went, I knew I got the bronze. I knew that for sure I would have had the bronze. But I had two people still to go after me, so I wasn't really sure where I was going to end up. So when everybody finished and I ended up getting silver, I was really, really proud of that. And it was a really close race. Um, and honestly, it didn't sink in until after the competition was done. Um, I honestly didn't. I didn't know until afterwards either that it was the first medals. So that was really great to hear. I didn't know that it was historic like that. I thought it was maybe the first female medals, but to hear that it was the first medals, male or female, was a crazy.
An accomplishment. Truly, truly amazing. Again, I always talk about the psychology, and you definitely show that strength in coming back. So amazing. Leads me to the next one here, and I'm sorry to be redundant. Then you came back the next day, did it again in the Karen. At what point it actually sunk in that you had just made history for the country? Not once,
Like,
twice.
yeah, again, it was a crazy feeling. It was just a crazy weekend. I was really proud of myself for overcoming the mental block of losing on the first day. But it was really because of Jasane, because he was there with me, and I was so happy that I had him with me and my mother there with me to just help me get through that, because if I was there by myself, I probably wouldn't have been able to do that. Um, and yeah, second again, I couldn't believe it.
Now, there's a saying here. Jay mentioned it in episode one, and it's something I actually read about back in 24. Look what you did on riding the track for less than 2 years. The world is watching. When you read that, what does that actually mean? Coming specifically from your coach, Justine Phillip.
Yeah, everything that he tells me means a lot to me. I learned so much from him, and from just his stories of his career, and now that he's back racing, I learned so much from him in training every day. Um, so that meant a lot for me, and it was really special to share that moment with him and have him there watch me go on the podium. And um, yeah, I still don't believe that that many people are watching, but I think, you know, as I progress in my career, it's becoming more apparent to me that that's the way it's going.
Yeah. Well, there are a lot of proud Trinidadians around the world that are definitely rooting for you, celebrating those moments with you, and want to see you continue to evolve and grow within the sport and your success. So that leads into the making of Maki. So before all of this, before all the medals and national records, what was the moment you realized cycling was the thing?
Yeah, so I've been an athlete for my whole life. I started off in swimming and I did triathlon, and um, I ended up just going into cycling because I kind of stopped swimming during COVID, and when I started with Jay and started training in a more structured pattern and really had a goal towards my first junior year and then my second junior year, and just seeing it lay out in front of me the path to finish off my junior years, was really what helped me be so disciplined. And I think just training day in and day out for that goal was what made me fall in love with it. And I've always wanted to go to the Olympics, so even as a swimmer, I wanted to go to the Olympics. So I was like, okay, this is my sport. This is it. This is what I'm going for to go to the games with. This is what I'm choosing. So I think just the day in, day out grind was what made me fall in love with it.
Yeah, that discipline structure, I mean, it's definitely one of the fundamental pieces of success. Part of Jay's segment, he was talking about the 1%, the incremental gains. And
Yeah.
yeah, it made me feel so happy to hear him say that because I was on the other side shouting at him, "Come on, let's go!" So it was nice to hear that, and you start to develop that mindset, and that leads into this next question. And I think every college athlete that is working towards becoming either a champion in a national, in a region, or get into the Olympics, they're required to have that level of structure
Yeah.
training. Now, when you were attending St. Joseph's Convent, doing those elite competitive routines, the
Yeah.
6 a.m. gym sessions, afternoon track sessions, all at the same time, share a little bit with the audience about what daily discipline actually looked like. And honestly, what it actually cost you? Because they're trade offs, right?
Yeah. Um, yeah, I honestly can't even believe I used to do that. Looking back on it now, waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go in the gym. Actually, even earlier than that, because we would have gone to the gym for 6.
Mm,
And then driving an hour and a half to the track because of traffic after school.
wow.
So it was a lot for me. There was a lot on my plate, but I didn't really have too much to complain about because I loved doing what I do. So I loved going to the track. I looked forward to it all day in school. I think the only thing that it probably cost me was just I would be a little tired in school, maybe lacking a little bit of focus in school.
Mm,
But I think I balanced it well. So
yeah.
yeah, I'm so thankful to my mom for because at that point I didn't have my license, so she would drive me to the gym in the morning and the track after school. So my parents really were my rocks at that point in my
Yeah.
career because they just did everything for me, packed my lunch, everything.
Year to parents, year to mom. And
Yeah,
thank you, mom and dad. I met your dad in LA about 2 years ago, I think. Such a pleasant gentleman. And I recently met your mom as well, digitally. So awesome. I can definitely see and feel the love and dedication. So to the parents out there, it's definitely one of those key factors for success.
yeah, the
So
support is really important.
oh,
Yeah,
very, very, very important. So again, to build upon that, it's your parents are involved. Your mom is actually president of JLD Academy, so she's not just a mom there and packing lunches, but she's also part of the institution that trains you.
yeah.
What is that dynamic like on a challenging day for you?
I mean, they're always there for me. My support system is why I am where I am right now. So I'm always super grateful to Jay and my parents for just they're there through all of the hard moments, all the highs and lows. So I think on a hard day, I'll call my mom and be like, I didn't have a great training session today, and maybe cry about it a little bit and get it out. And that's my outlet for me
Yeah.
to really go through all of my emotions off of the bike, and be able to reset and go again. And my dad is always telling me, like helping me refocus and explaining to me that this is the process and
Mhm.
you're not gonna have great days every day.
Correct. Words of wisdom, definitely. So, as part of your training and as your exposure, I think you spent 6 weeks in Colombia at altitude,
Yeah,
away from home as a
yeah.
teenager. What did that trip actually teach you about yourself that no other race could ever can?
Colombia was an amazing. I've been to Colombia for training camp twice now, and that's where we do our little road training, and get our base fitness for the next season. So I think that's really what that taught me, building fitness and resilience on the bike for a lot longer than we usually do on the track. Focusing on the breathing, I learned a lot of breathing techniques on the bike in Colombia, and it really is. It's tough to go through that first week in the altitude.
Yeah.
Um, just making sure you're on top of your vitamins, on top of your fueling,
Mhm.
hydration, or else you'll crash. You won't make it. So I think that's those are the things I've learned there. Just staying on top of everything, and also I think honestly, road helps my mental a lot. It makes me feel confident, and I think Jay is the same way. So I think I kind of picked that up from him. Um, so just building that confidence, knowing that this base is going to be for the whole season, and this is what's going to help me go long and in turn go fast. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. How high were you? What was the
It's
altitude?
above 2,000. I'm not
Okay.
sure the exact.
Okay.
Let me get it for you quickly. I'm not sure the exact altitude.
I remember I went hiking up in at altitude, and it was just a wonderful experience coming back to sea level because I felt like I could run upstairs and do amazing things for about a week without my heart rate being impacted at all. So training on the
Yeah,
road is definitely going to be
yeah, it was
uh,
tough. It was around 2,200 meters.
okay. All right. Oh wow,
Yeah,
meters. Okay. All
22.
right.
Yeah, 2,200 meters.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's high.
a lot.
So we're going to jump into a little bit to the JLD Academy. I've been hearing about JLD since 2010. So every athlete that has a vision of themselves they are chasing. What does your best self on the bike actually look like, and how far away?
I think the best self on my bike looks free. I think that's something Jay tells me a lot is just to kind of let go and trust myself. And to be honest, the best version of myself, I think in a couple years, what I'm looking towards is just, I think the only thing missing is time and experience. I'm learning to trust myself, and so I think I already have the drive and I already have the discipline. But I think, yeah, the only thing that is really missing is time and experience, and just learning how to deal with the pressure
Mhm.
and being in at this. This is only my second year in elite, so this
Right.
is really my first kind of full World Cup. Last year was like not everybody was there, but everybody is here right now. So it feels like World Championships for me again. So just being under that pressure and on the world stage is I think time is going to be my best friend.
Yeah, I agree. I fully agree with what you're saying. The discipline from again experience, knocking elbows in a race. Just the mindset, not taking risk at times, putting your body into positions that has never been there before physically,
Yeah.
and pushing your mind to a point. So it is. It's a mix of fear, but it's so awesome
Yeah.
when you're
Yeah.
going so fast, and you get that velocity that drives you through. So I'm going to get into a little touchy subject here now. You self-funded your Nation Cup debut
Last
in Turkey. Um, most people would have just stayed home. What made you get on that plane anyway?
Honestly, it wasn't really a question to me, which I think is a great privilege. So my parents were able to help me out with that, and I'm so thankful to them that I was able to do that and go because it really was important for me. It helped me get to World Championships, and but I think the reason I got on the plane was just my coach. He has a plan for my whole year, and in terms of points and everything, he's very structured. So we know exactly what we have to tick off on the list to achieve the goals that I want to achieve. It's not today for today. It's a journey, and we're looking into the future all the time. So I think that's why I got on the plane, just because of Justine.
Awesome. Yeah, spot on. there's a story, there is something that you work towards, and when you have that network of support, that's definitely very helpful for you to achieve the bigger picture, which is LA 28 moving forward. I think we're going to touch on that a little bit here shortly. So you walked into Elite World Championships in Santiago, first Trinidad and Tobago female sprint cyclist ever to qualify. When you lined up against those ladies, what did that feel like?
Honestly, the first few days, it was a little daunting for me because everybody that I look up to is there, you know? I'm seeing faces that I see on TV and on Instagram all the time. So, I mean, but honestly, I think, again, it's a privilege to be there. It's a privilege to be able to race against those girls. And I just tried to soak everything up as much as I could. Um, just seeing everybody go through the motions, going through their warm up, everybody's very focused. Just seeing how everybody operates is really, I think, big learning for me. I tried to soak it all up, and then yeah, going to the line with those girls, I was just like, I can't believe I'm really here. I was just so excited to race. I After my 200, I got to race Mina Sato in the first round of the sprints, and I just had fun because I mean I qualified quite a bit lower than her, so I just had fun. I just was free on my bike, and yeah, just went through my motions and executed my race.
Yeah. Well, you got into your happy place then. You were having fun on
Yeah,
the bike,
yeah, it
and
was really
you belong. You belong. You deserve to be there. So wonderful. Again, congratulations again. It's quite an achievement. Now, you do some events that are very difficult and very competitive. Everything from the tactics and strategy on the track to the ability to go long on the big gears
yeah.
and knowing how to read the other cyclists. The sprint is you have to definitely be crafty on that. There's a mix between craft, speed, endurance, and a little bit of luck too, because
Yeah, for sure.
sometimes something can happen. And what comes wrong with that is mental toughness. You talked about needing to toughen up your mental game under pressure.
Yeah.
What does pressure actually feel like in your body before doing a big race? And what are you doing right now over the past, you said, for the first full year of elite competition? What are you doing right now to elevate you to that next level?
Yeah, so pressure for me just feels like tightness. Again, like I ideally you'd be as free as possible, as relaxed as possible, and just focused on what you have to do. And I think the pressure in moments like when I lost the race in Junior Worlds, and in other moments for my 200, sometimes I just like let the pressure crack me. Um, it just feels like like your body is unable to do what it is trained to do. I'm actually working with a mental coach now, so a performance coach. So I've just been having a lot of conversations about that, and really how I do feel in the moment. And I think the main takeaway I've gotten from that coaching, alongside my physical coaching and in the gym and everything, is that this is what I've trained for. This is what I do every day, and on the day it's going to be whatever it's going to be. So just to let go and be calm in the moment, and just let your body do what it knows how to do. So I think that's how I'm trying to deal with it now, and not let external pressures really get to me on the day. I think just focusing on what I can control is the main point.
Lovely. Said it really well. I would say it a little different. It's something I share with Jane and the other athletes that I work with. And it's a training slaying. Pressure does bust by for me. All right. You're in that one. So you're going to do well. And with that mindset, it's definitely leading towards a championship mindset and that always compete in everything that you choose to pursue. So what is Mackie building towards? This is the next sport. You want to go to the Olympic Games. LA is coming up. You're going into your 2-year block of qualification. When you picture yourself at the Olympic start line in LA, my hometown, the track where I first met you at as well. What does that version of Mackie look like compared to who you are today in Hong Kong, getting ready to race this weekend?
I think, again, what I said earlier about, I think the best version of myself is gonna be me, but with more time and just learning everything, like learning more. So I think by that time I'll be ready for that moment, and I'm really excited about the qualification process. I know it's gonna be super challenging. It's not just gonna happen at all. It's not gonna be given to me at all. I'm gonna have to go out there and do it. Um, but I think it's gonna kind of be. I can't wait to be there. It's gonna be a full circle moment for me too, because my first Pan Am championships were there as well. My first elite Pan Am championships were there. So I've raced that track a few times, and I'm really, really looking forward to being there. I can't wait. I'm so excited about it.
So I think you were at SummerSlam last year, right?
Yeah,
And then you're going to be there again this year.
yeah.
Shout out to the velodrome, Travis Smith and team out there. SummerSlam is going to be great. It's good way of winning some points as well towards qualification.
Yeah, they were really good last year.
Yeah,
And yeah, just we're really gonna go there for just some racing and just to race. Really, I think no pressure, and yeah, get some points for Worlds.
nice.
But I'm really excited.
Good. I look forward to seeing you there and cheering you on and losing my voice. So you're already being called the future of Trinidad and Tobago's women's cycling. Does that feel like pressure or permission?
I think it feels like a privilege. Honestly, I think as I progress in my journey as a cyclist, I'd hope to inspire as much as my coach has, and I hope to be someone that people can look up to, young girls can look up to, and be like, yeah, we can do that from Trinidad. We can be at that level, and not just in cycling and in all sports. We have the talent in our country to do that. So yeah, I hope to be an inspiration to young girls.
Very nice. I always share this ever since the first time. We've had some wonderful cyclists throughout. Tania Campbell, of course, on the road. There's almost like a rhythm in our blood. I call it the soca in our blood, in the way that we cyclists will approach a race, and it just really is a wonderful opportunity from a fan looking at the cyclists, seeing them compete and winning. I can definitely see that in you, and definitely the inspiration for the future of other Trini cyclists coming up and being dominant in the world. Now, being dominant in the world and dominant as a country and representing this great nation of Trinidad and Tobago at the Olympic Games is quite a privilege. But it takes a lot of effort, not only in the gym, not only the psychology of it, not only nutrition and on the bike and the coaches and stuff. That costs a lot of money. It takes a lot of effort from different sources. So that funding gap plagues every nation, the U.S., Canada. I'm inspired. I've been inspired from the first time I met you. The way you conduct yourself, the way you ride your bike. I've seen you at the SummerSlam last year, and I love that aggressive jump that you have on the bike. So for our guests out there, make sure that you follow Mackie on the social media. Get her on Instagram and on Matter and other sources, just to experience what the grit and determination actually and what it takes to continue to be a winner and a dominant factor in this very competitive sport of track cycling. So Maki, I thank you so much for taking the time, especially being on the other side of the world. I wish you best of luck. Go get them. And like I told Jasain, don't hang up. Go work for Precious Bus Bike will make diamond. You are a diamond, and be safe and enjoy this experience. And the rest of the Trinidad and Tobago cyclists, I know it's a close knit group, and best of luck to everyone. Be proud of Trini. Take care.